Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Almina, and in today's video I'll be showing and teaching you guys the best dribble moves to do in GymClass VR. Yeah, I know we do have 2 tutorials in 1 week. That's because a lot of people come up to me and say they have seen a lot of my tutorials, so I just want to bring more out, especially with the new physics and stuff like that. But make sure you like and subscribe. Let's try to get to 1,600 subscribers by the end of April.
Yeah, a little side note, we actually did hit that yesterday when I made my videos, so 1,700 subscribers. Let's try to get to that.
Okay, so the first one that I think everyone should use is the AI or Allen Iverson crossover. Now I know everyone uses this move, but there's kind of 2 ways to do it. Of course, there's normal crossover or doing a hezi. So let's start with a normal crossover. What your goal is to pretend you're going one way and just switching or the other way. It's important you have really good hand placement when you do this, because if I wanted to drive that way, I wouldn't dribble like this driving that way. So if you do your crossover like this and then bring it like that, it's not going to work, because when you do drive, you will have your hand this way, so you can just push it forward or this way or this way or that way. It really depends on you. But at the last second before you drive, you want to turn your wrist ready for the crossover and bring it in, because as soon as you go like this and you're looking this way, your opponent is most likely going to try to cut you off here, and that's when you cross over that side. So in full time it should look like this. Obviously when you start, make sure your crossovers are only small, and then when you get really good, you can make your crossovers really wide. One thing I would practice doing is using the thumbstick correctly. I know a lot of people, when they do it, they will stand still, pretend they're doing the drive, and then just move this way with the thumbstick. What you want to do is flick the thumbstick really quick this way, so it actually looks like you're going that way. So when you flick it this way, you just bring it back that way. Again, it should look like this. So yeah, that is the first way, and then there is the hezi way. That is, instead of driving this way, you will do the same thing, but put the ball on top like you're going to shoot a left-handed shot. So you will go this way, put your hand like this, and pretend you're looking up to shoot, and then quickly drop the ball. So in full speed, while looking at the ball, it should look like this. And then when you actually do it and you do the hezi, it should look like this. I know a lot of people will argue that this is an AI crossover, but there's a lot of ways you can switch it up. You can do it by going between the legs, or you can do it by going behind the back. That's why I said there's different ways to do it. But practice that, get your crossover really wide, and you will break ankles. This next one is called the spin and snatch back. So what this is a spin move going this way, and then you will snatch it back, either if it's a crossover or between the legs. The way to do this, I know a lot of people don't know how to do a spin, but you need to be really light when you dribble the ball, because if I was to do a normal dribble, it will go really far. So you have to kind of drop it really light so you can bring the ball back. You want to try get used to keeping your thumbstick going this way when you do the 360. This is really hard to do, because if I was to look forward and do a 360, I'll stay here. So you need to try figure out how to move your thumbstick to end this way. The best way to do this is, if you're looking right, you will go left. If you're looking the other way, you will go backwards, and if you're looking forwards, you will go forwards. So you need to figure out how to do that in a really circular motion. And of course, after the spin move, you bring the ball back and move your thumbstick back at the same time. At full speed, it will look like this while looking at the ball. This is just to open some space for either a 3-point shot, or if you're closer, mid-range. Because when you spin to go this way, it feels like you're driving towards the rim, and then you snatch it back, and then your defender is left here while you're over there for an open shot. And while just dribbling normally, it should look like this. Me personally, when I do this, I do a little step back at the end, just because I have a tiny bit of space to where I can just step back in real life. So after I do the snatch back, I step back at the end just to create a little more space. Now this next move is the fake crossover. I know some people do this a little bit, but they do it really sloppy. The real way to do this crossover, all you need to do when you're driving this way, is exactly like the AI dribble, but without the crossover. So what you're going to do is get ready to drive one way, and all you're going to do is look the opposite way and carry on with your dribble. In full time, it should look like this. If I was you, do a little pause when you look the opposite way. So when you dribble, just stop for a second, look, and carry on moving. If I was you, partner this up with the AI dribble. So when you do the AI crossover, you can bring it back, do the fake crossover, and just finish. In full speed, it should look like this. So practice this and I promise you will break ankles. Now this next move is the James Harden step back. Everyone knows the step back, it's sometimes really hated on. If you don't know what it is, it's kind of a double step back to get really open. And you may think this is really easy to do, you can just grab the ball and walk backwards, but no. The way to actually do this is to snatch back, that's your first step, and then step back again. So on full speed it should look like this. But from here you can act like it's a hezzy and just dribble right out, or you can finish it with a jump shot. Honestly, use this, it creates so much space. Now this next move is the hesitation dribble. Let's just say you have a defender right in front of you. What you want to do is do a size up escape. So from here you want to kind of go backwards and to the left at the same time, a bit like this. And from here, your defender will come here to cut you off. You will just drive right past them. So it should look like this. Now these next two moves are going to be how to use the behind the back really well. This first one is a really simple one, it's a behind the back spin. So I use this a lot if I'm going to bring the ball back, behind the back and just spin out of it. And from there I can drive towards the hoop. And the next one is if I'm driving this way and I want to cut straight into the hoop. So what I'll do normally is just dribble forward like this, grab it with my opposite hand, do a behind the back. After I go behind the back, I can either go this way or I can spin right around and go right past them. Honestly, this one's really helpful when you get used to it. But yeah, all you need to do is practice all of these moves either in-game or in a practice area. And I promise you, when you're able to add all of these together, you will be completely unguardable. So yeah, these are the best dribble moves to use in gym class. Thank you all for watching this video. If you have any questions about anything, leave them in the comments down below, I will answer them. All my socials will be in the description down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.